Right, welcome back. It's me, Hanim, again with Annie today, as Annie kept on saying today. I mean, it's Women Power today here in the studio for Hello on 2 on Monday, June 10th. It's a very exciting day today as we talk. It's a lot of student talk, like you said earlier on the show. We are going to our next topic to talk about how students can get cash incentives.
That's right.
What's that about?
Ka-ching, ka-ching, coming your way. I mean, can you imagine kids getting money? I can see the beam on their face. Let's talk about that.
Right.
Now we've got Dana KCM coming your way. Let's welcome our guest in the studios.
Yes, we have Dr. Temuramah En Nazim Pn, Chairman of Dana KCM, and of course, Puan Mariyam Kadir, Principal of Class Tuition Mariyam, Cikgu Mariyam KCM, husband and wife here.
Yeah, I know. Fantastic team up here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for joining. So let's jump right in. We're looking at cash incentives for students.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
All right, this Class Tuition Cikgu Mariyam actually initiated in 2003. So at the beginning, there were some students, they couldn't afford to pay the tuition fees. So as a business orientation, we thought we shouldn't stop them.
Right.
So we approached some of the guys and other parents who are richer. So we asked them to sponsor these students who are academically good. So the fund grew. We started to have a lot of students coming for the fund, and the condition was they must come for the class. And it was very great, and there was a lot of philanthropy support. And additionally, we went on to do our CSR program with some corporate companies like MRCB, Touch and Go, and there was support also to the CSR program where we channel this money to our cause, so-called the Dana KCM. So Dana is like a bank, so catering money for students who wanting to further their studies right after their SPM. And we don't really, we actually encourage everyone to go and further their studies regardless of their SPM result or their PMR result. So when you say about academically good, not necessarily a student with academic background can further their studies. We also cater the cash incentive for students who wants to go for the skill-based.
So it's pretty holistic, isn't it? You have the very student studies-oriented students who are also benefiting from this, and also the ones who may have dropped off because they're not very, not excelling in studies itself.
So when can they actually apply for Dana KCM?
They can apply any time. As I say, the precondition is they just want to further their studies. So they have to apply online. They go to our Dana KCM website. All the informations are there. They have to give their every detail of the academic detail as well as the parents detail, what they are working. Because we want to study to what extent we can have. Because Dana is actually from RM 200 to 10,000 ringgit per student. And we do also offer like full scholarship, which we already did for some of the students.
Fantastic.
So when we see they are academically very good and they can't afford, the mother is a single mother and so forth. I would
Sorry, I didn't just need to interject here. That means you are catering to people with low income?
No,
not
anybody.
But even if it's a family of, let's just say, hypothetically, father and mother quite well off. Kids are not doing too well in school. Hypothetic, by the way. So father and mother quite well off. Kids not doing too well in school. They are applying for the Dana. Is that possible?
No problem. No problem. Because as I say, the condition is you want to further.
As long as they want to further the studies.
But that's I think that's going to be hard for you to choose.
Yeah, that's why we already ask for the financial background. So when they key in online, they have to give all the details.
Full details.
Okay. So we have a management on that to further to actually look into.
Do they have to go to class tuition, Cikgu Mariyam?
No, earlier, as I said, it was unprecedented. We didn't decide. We never thought it will go to this extent. So it all started from class tuition Cikgu Mariyam. And you see, to boost this tuition also, we are going further mile, where to say we are catering students, tuition for all kind of students, starting from 2015. We will be having about 100 tuition centers, class tuition Cikgu Mariyam. And the beauty is almost free.
And they can
almost free.
No, we want to give free, but you see people take for granted.
Yes, that's true.
So
we want serious people to come and study.
Students, they can choose to study whether in the country or overseas.
They can. But the condition is they must apply through us.
And they must have an interest in studying.
Definitely.
When
you say study, it's not academically concerned.
Skill-based as well, like you said. So how much is it, the cash incentives you're giving away? Like if you can share with us.
Yeah, of course. As I said, you were already saying that, what about very rich students asking for this Dana KCM? We go as low as 200 ringgit, as high as like 10,000 ringgit per student.
Wow.
And it's an initial payment. It's a free money. No need to pay back.
No need to pay back.
No need to pay back.
I love this Dana. I don't know about you, but I love this Dana. This is amazing. You don't need to pay back.
So the Dana was established in 2000. Was set up in 2010.
Actually, Dana's established in 2010,
right.
But the modus operandi started in 2003.
I have to ask here. Sorry, devil's advocate working a little bit here. When you give money out like this, you know, people say, "Oh, good, they're giving off money. Senang niya nak dapat duit." But I'm quite sure there are students who are serious in studies, and there could be students who just take advantage of the money.
That's right.
How would you do a check and balance?
That's a very good question, because we went through this kind of problem. So actually, we started giving them money. They show us the offer letter, and we let the money to be released.
Right.
And unfortunately, some of them didn't go and study.
There you go.
Yeah,
they quit.
No, they just lied. In other words. So to this year onwards, what we have done actually, we want them to be very serious. They have to go and study for at least 1 month. We have to get a report from the university saying that student already been there, and they must have applied for PTPT if we want to. Then only we'll be starting to release the fund.
So, Puan Mariyam, the university that the student chooses to go to, who decides then? They decide,
They decide what are the courses they are going to do and what are the
studies they want to take.
Studies they are going to take.
Okay, as long as they have a course, they have a university that's valid, they are interested in the studies.
To consult them,
right.
We do the free consultation. We will give them a free something like a free talk to the parents. What are the courses they are going to choose according to their results.
Right.
All right. Now, just a quick shout out going out to all of you out there. 2282-8578-2282-8579. If you want to give a call, talk to a guest, or find out a little bit more about Dana KCM, this is one opportunity for your children, and in fact for adults as well, isn't it? It doesn't matter any.
Remember the AHSA, now everyone can fly, so we can say now everyone can study.
But you have to have at least, what's the youngest age you can apply at least?
Or the oldest?
Yeah, the oldest.
Youngest
after SPM.
After
SPM. So we're talking about from 16, 15, 16?
15, 16.
So those who have quit like after PMR, maybe they can go for the skill-based course.
Ah, right, okay.
So you don't have age limit?
No, we don't have that.
As long
I'm applying for that.
I was about to say, Hanim and I are there.
We are very much concerned about the students' future.
Right.
No, we don't want to be very concerned, focused on this academically, you know. We want to also look into the skill-based, because the country needs this kind of
Definitely. Now I have to ask you, there probably would be adults out there who are looking at this and watching us and thinking, oh, you know what, I want to pursue something that I've never pursued in my life and never had the money for it or even the time for it, but I have the time, I don't have the money. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I love being hypothetical about these things.
I noticed that.
When we talk about, say, let's just say if, you know, either Hanim, me or someone out there wants to pursue a baking course, for instance. A baking course, male or female, they want to pursue a baking course, or even language studies. Is that something you would consider, or do they have to be in the, you know, in
Why
the
not? We can
stream?
consider any kind of causes. But
You might consider salsa.
I know.
The other thing, parents, those who are looking at us, you know, they might be thinking like, if I were to apply for this Dana KCM, will I be eligible for applying for this PTPTM? This Dana is just an initial payment. They can go and apply for the PTPTM, the MARA, whatever.
So it doesn't stop at
It doesn't conflict.
Doesn't conflict. Good. So they can go online to find out more.
Yeah, they should go online.
Here on
so far registered with us almost 25,000 students.
Wow.
And I would say all of them are eligible.
So if they want, if people want to see you, both of you, and to you know, consult more about this, where can they?
Okay, they can come to our Mid Valley office. They can also visit all our teaching centers in the country. We have 20 branches. We are from Johor to Penang, and they can even consult through our email.
See,
so our consultants are there, 25 of them waiting for them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But you just open the floodgates. All my cameramen and my APs
I can hear
my producers,
producers
they all want to come and apply.
I don't know if you're ever gonna be able to go out of this building here. You know,
semua nak sambung belajar. We have a raise of hands at the back of the camera. All right, so it's very interesting. Now, the money that you are going to be channeling to the students, do you give it to the students or do you give it to their guardians, as in, i.e., parents or people who are older? To the students.
Yeah, we are giving to the students.
How do you?
As I said, it's an initial payment, but actually we want to be careful with giving the money out, because we don't want to misuse the money. So as I said earlier, we want to make sure they have studied at least for 3 weeks.
Right.
That's
so
important.
what happens? You give the Dana, I mean, to a student, and the student doesn't finish the studies. what happens?
Normally, that's a risk you take, you see, because. But if you look at the statistics, normally 95 to 96% of the students who ever go into the university or colleges, they tend to finish their education.
I think you should finish it, because this is money given to you by somebody, and you're so lucky to get it, because certain other kids wouldn't get it, isn't it?
No, we must thank the people who started it, the philanthropies, you know.
Right,
they were they're so good-hearted, and they are still very concerned. They don't want to jeopardize the students' education just because they can't finance. So this is one kind of the criteria, you know, they actually look at.
Well, hold on to that thought, because something just popped up in my head.
Right, so that was what happened at Robocon 2013 with Zamil, of course. Welcome back. Still with me, Hanim, and Annie in the studio. We're still talking about Dana KCM.
Yes.
Of course, once again in the studio with us, we have Puan Mariyam and also Dr. Nazim to further talk about the Dana KCM. Why is it called Dana KCM, if Puan Mariyam can tell us a little bit about that? Because I know it's got to do with the class tuition, Cikgu Mariyam.
Yeah, so it was established in 2010. So they take, as I'm an ex-teacher, so it's like class tuition Cikgu Mariyam. So later on we have decided to establish our business, and now class tuition Cikgu Mariyam has become Dana KCM.
So that's how
the short form.
Fantastic. So it's just shortened a little bit there.
That's right.
All right. Let's talk about people who have finished studies. The ones who completed their studies, taken the money, completed the studies. Do you follow up with them, or do you have sort of like an on-the-job training or something that you actually help them with?
That's the idea that we have in our pipeline, to actually help them out, because there's the concern about employability.
Yeah,
so we want to give them like training to them and ask them to sharpen their knowledge in terms of their soft skill, things like that, and like grooming session things. All those is in our pipeline. But now our concern is actually distributing the cash fund to our Dana KCM, so those who wanting to further their studies.
Okay. So is there like a specific amount of money every year allocated to be distributed out to students?
Yeah, it started like very small, you know, tuition fees like few $1,000, then went up to $500,000. Then we have almost now 25 million. No, we expect it to grow. So we expect that to grow further, reaching out many students. And our focus is very much into the rural students as well, because these are the people that actually need a lot of help.
So, for example, say I apply now. How long does it take for me to get a response from you?
Within 24 hours.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
But how do you respond to it? I mean, if assuming, let's just say you have a student, coming in. Again, one of my hypothetical questions. You have a student coming in, and he or she wants to pursue a particular course. Let's just say, one particular course, and yet you go through the student's bio and you realize maybe she or he is not cut out for this course.
Okay.
Do you do an advising consultation or something to tell them, look, maybe this is not the right course, you might want to think about something else? Is there something
Certainly we do that. Certainly we do that. That's why we have about 25 consultants just addressing this issue for them, solving the problem by counseling with the students, looking into their need, their interests. So we sort out some kind of solutions for them.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so for all of you out there, we were talking to them earlier on off camera, and they said apply now. Now it's very important for them to apply, right?
Because the intakes are going on in the university and colleges. The results are out.
So they should be starting to apply already. All right. So if you want to know more about them, I think the website is going to be shown at the bottom at www.danakcm.com. Do make sure you apply, because the sooner you apply, the faster the funds come to you. But at the same time, remember this, Malaysia, whatever your child is applying for, the money comes from really good-hearted people who gave it out to them. So make sure your child carries through and studies it to the end.
That's true. That's very important.
It's another person's money, so do well with it, isn't it? Fantastic.
Right. Okay.
One big advice that you can give our viewers before we let you go for the afternoon.
Oh yes, my advice is don't waste time. No, the time is an essence. So most importantly, students out there, the parents as well should actually take this advantage, because it's a free money. It's given to students who really want to further their studies. So my advice is grab it.
Maybe Cikgu Mariyam has something to say before we go.
Cikgu?
For the students out there who is working, and then maybe they can do this as a who is working as a part-time, so maybe they can go to further their studies.
Fantastic.
Because everything, if you want to get promotion, anything, you must finish your studies, at least your degrees.
True. Yeah. Very true.